Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spinning Barn. And today we're going to be looking at how to use a drop spindle. Now I'm going to use a method called the park and draft method, which I think is fantastic because it helps you to break the whole process down into little manageable stages rather than having to panic about it all twisting and trying to manage all of the fibre at the same time. We're going to be able to stop the twist and manage those fibres. And I think that this method gives you much more confidence and also gives you a better understanding of what's actually happening as well. So let's get to it. The little spindle that I'm going to be using today is just a small spindle, top whirl. It's very lightweight and the top whirl gives a little bit more twist, which means it's not going to break your fibres. Your fibres aren't going to break under the weight of it. So it's a really good little one to start with actually. And if you have one of my kits, you will have received exactly one of these. It's got a little hook on the top as well, along with some colourful selections of Shetland fibre. But of course you can use anything that you have to hand. If you haven't got my kit, you can still obviously follow this video. Just use any drop spindle and any fibre you happen to have. Just bear in mind that different fibres obviously have different properties. Some are more slippery, some are a bit more grippy. So just find one that you have that works for you and that you can enjoy working with, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it more, aren't you? Okay, so let's just park that between my knees while I get myself organised. So we're going to start just by taking a length of commercial thread. You see, it's just about 12 inches or so. You don't have to measure it, don't worry. The reason I'm using a commercial thread is, first of all, because I've got a lot of it, and also because it's very strong and it'll give us a really good starting point. And I'm going to just wrap that around the shaft of my bobbin, my spindle, and just tie it on nice and securely. Again, there are so many other ways of doing this, but I'm trying to make this as simplistic as possible if this is your first attempt, okay? And then just hook it around the little hook. So now our spindle is just dropping. It's just hanging there in midair, isn't it? And ready to go. So it's probably a bit long, actually. I'm going to just, you might find the same. So just wind a bit more onto your bobbin. It'll help you to learn that process and hook it back through the little hook. Okay, just have a quick practice of twisting that clockwise. Generally, when we spin our single strands in a clockwise direction, then we ply them together in an anti-clockwise rotation. Okay, just so you get the feel of being able to give that a really good twist. Now you can see, can you see how that's already getting really, can you see that there? Getting really pingy. It's got way too much stretch in it. So I'm just going to let that unravel for a little bit to start with. That was just to show you, get you used to using the spindle and making it spin well, but we don't want all of that amount of twist to start with. So I'm just going to turn it the opposite direction and get some of that out. When you start for real, just attach your leader. You won't need to twist it to start with, and just do the next bit. Okay, so we've attached our leader. Leave that there. I'm going to take a little bit of my fibre. Now, I suggest you don't start with too much because it's a lot to handle. And if you get the twist in the wrong place, it just grabs it all. It seizes every opportunity and is rather badly behaved. Right. So if you just pull out some of those fibres, can you see how many you've got there? Just a few. It's nice and wispy on the end. And I'm going to lay the end of my leader and catch it along those fibres. And I'm going to hold it nice and tightly. And I always say, everything we do with our wool when we're spinning, whether it's on a spindle or whether it's on a spinning wheel, we should always do as gently as possible, apart from when you're joining on at the beginning like this. If you don't hold on to it tight, it's all going to separate. So hold that nice and tightly and twist. Let that twist build up. Can you see, if I do that again, can you see how it's building up here and the two are joining together? And what I want is too much twist, like I did just now, where it's nice and springy. Okay, park it between your knees. Now, it doesn't matter which hand you use, whatever's the most comfortable for you. I tend to swap hands, which seems a bit silly, but it works for me. And I'm going to just hold it at the point where the twist in here meets the fibre supply. And then I'm going to just pull back on the fibre just to soften it, just to open up those fibres. And I hope you can be able to see what happens now. If I let go, that twist shoots up into that section, and I now have a really nice firm piece of yarn. And I'm going to just draft back a bit further and see if that twist will travel any further. What we need is for the fibre to be nice and stable and robust. It's actually not going to fall apart. If I pull this too far, let's see if you can see this. It's just beginning to get a bit soft and fluffy, which means it's not really strong enough. Just give that an extra little bit of twist. So you'll get the feeling of, and you'll see how far you need to, or how much fibre you need to pull back, if you like, how you need to draft for that amount of twist that you have produced to move into it. If you have insufficient twist and you keep pulling back on your fibre, it's going to fall apart because it's the twist that holds it together. Okay, if that makes sense. And again, keep that fibre out of the way. Right, let's do that again. Twist, twist, twist. It's a bit of a wonky twist. Twist, twist, twist. Park it. Gives you time to use your hands, manage these fibres. So draft backwards and let the twist in. Draft backwards, let some twist in. Backwards, let that twist in. Backwards, and I think I'm about there. Okay, so unhook it, wrap it around the shaft, leaving a nice length there that you can work with. Hook it around your hook. Twist again. Park it between your knees. Draft the fibres back. Let the twist travel. Fibres back. Let the twist travel. See how far I can go this time. I think that's strong enough. Now, I generally tend to spin quite finely. It's a bit of a bad habit of mine, really. You can spin any thickness or any thinness that you want. It's all about how much twist you have and how many fibres you pull out and how far back you take them. If I try to do this a bit thicker, you can see the difference between here and here. Just come undone a bit. Okay, so you can make that any thickness that you want. Okay, once more, ready for this? Let's do it together. A big twist, big spin, lots of twist, nice and springy. Park it between your knees, draft your fibres back, let the twist in. Draft some fibres back and let the twist in. Back, in, back, in. It's amazing, isn't it? Just how this beautiful soft fibre just completely transforms into yarn when you start working with it. It will never cease to amaze me. It's amazing. So, twist, park, draft. Let the fibres in. And you know, before you know it, you'll be out in the garden, walking the dog, tending your flocks, and spinning away to your heart's content. It's such an easy, portable, what's the word? It's just, it's really quite absorbing. And again, it becomes quite meditative as well, really. If you're looking for something nice and calm to do. And then you can progress to just continuing it without doing the park in the middle. And there we have it. Now, I know you're going to be asking me how we actually apply these two together. This video isn't aimed at that. That'll be in another one. However, I will tell you very briefly. All you need to do is keep spinning until you have filled your bobbin, your spindle. I generally wind that off using a ball winder, or just wind it into a ball, and then do another spindle, so you end up with 2 balls of wool. And then all you need to do is put them into a little bowl or a little basket and join them together. So join them both to your leader at the beginning, and then twist them in the opposite direction and they will ply together. Okay, but as always, I'm always here for advice if you ever need it. Okay, so do feel free to ask at any time. All right, now I hope that's helped. Do let me know how you get on and show me what you've made. Okay, lovely. Happy spinning, enjoy your spindle, and I will see you soon. Thank you, bye.